All right, YouTube. We're gonna give the Muslims a break, at least for just one day here. But let's get right to atheists. If you guys don't know, one of the best arguments to run against an atheist is called tag. And tag is just an acronym for Transcendental Argument for God. So I run this version of tag. It's not so in depth. If you hear other people on YouTube running this argument, this can go really deep, very philosophical, very scientific. But I keep it very simple and precise with this young lady that comes up and tries to challenge whether God exists or not. So I think this video is going to be good, especially if you want to understand tag from a very elementary level. And you can use this argument on other people as well. It's a very, very difficult argument for some atheists to answer. And I think it really grounds the existence of God. I don't really think there's any other answer to it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget, guys, if you're watching this, like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Don't forget to watch my other videos. We're very, very close to getting monetized, and every second you guys watch count. Thank you for everything you guys do, and let's get right to the video. What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your faith?
I would like to put my opinion in as a pastor's kid who left the church after doing research.
I'm not. Did you just hear me say I'm not interested in people's opinion? Can you bring an argument that's objective?
I can. But I'm going to start with using your opinion.
Okay.
How would you describe your God?
And as far as what? Let's just He's the creator. He's eternal. Let's start there.
No, most people describe your God as a loving and benevolent father, correct?
Sure.
Okay. Are there any parts of the Bible that you disagree with on your own?
No.
I'm not putting any of my own personal thoughts into this on you.
No.
Is there anything that you disagree with?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so you believe that women should be stoned for having sex before marriage?
Talking about whether I believe it was right or wrong during the law for them to do that?
No, because that is what the Bible says should happen.
That's what happened at that time, and I believe God is morally good, including his law.
Okay, what do you have? What are your morals including then? I'm not going to put mine in.
My morals are just my morals are grounded in Jesus Christ. Love your neighbors, you love yourself, love God with your heart, mind, and soul.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you support LGBTQ?
Support how? Like what?
Like, not saying you are part of, just do you believe that they are right in loving who they love?
No, I don't.
Okay, then why do you believe that you're loving your neighbor as yourself when you don't love them? That is not the godly thing to do if you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself.
So Haley, loving your neighbor like you love yourself doesn't mean I have to agree with everything they do.
Okay,
what are you talking about? So I have a child. If she makes a choice that I don't agree with, that doesn't mean I don't love her anymore. Right?
Okay, but that's why I said, do you believe that they should be allowed to? Because that means that you're.
So they should. So you're asking me that according to the whether, and I'm assuming you're talking about marriage. Is that what you're talking about?
Marriage, relations, anything.
Yeah, I mean, if they are choosing to have relations with people or whatever, that's their choice. I'm not the judge. They could do whatever they want. Now, should they be married? Marriage is something that belongs to us as believers. Like we're the ones that have marriage. For them to impose on a sacrament that we have, and then try to abominate it into something different. No, I don't agree that should happen. But if they want to sleep with whoever they want to sleep with, that's their choice. I don't really care. Do I agree with it? No, but that's their choice. They can do whatever they want. I can't tell them what to do.
Okay, but why does marriage with marriage then? Since you brought it up, why does other religions believe that it is okay, but you don't? And what is to say that your God is the only God, other than him saying?
Because our God is the only God that can logically exist if there's a creator. The other gods can't logically exist.
By what proof?
Through the laws of logic.
Okay, so Norse gods can't exist?
I mean, they can claim to, if you're saying like whether they actually exist as far as like just being a real thing, yes, but they can't be the creator. No, it's not possible.
How not?
Because it's not possible to have multiple starts of existence, bro. It's just
Okay,
not
but
possible.
multiple people could have had a hand in it.
No, they couldn't.
Or not.
Like, what are you because it wouldn't logically follow. If everything that we know that exists, time, space, and matter, right? Time, space, and only multiplicity exists within time, space, and matter, right? Multiple beings exist in time, space, and matter. Whatever started existence needs to be one existence. You can't have multiple existences start one existence. That wouldn't follow.
Okay.
Yeah, so multiple creators doesn't logically follow. It collapses. Now, are there
Okay,
other beings? Are there other beings?
that?
Hold on. Are there multiple beings that claim to be God? Yeah, I believe that's true. That's true that they're claiming that. I don't believe it's true that there are multiple creators. No, it's not possible.
Okay. And a lot of these people are saying that I can't go with belief and my own personal anything, so I'm gonna stray away from that. What physical proof of anything other than I believe that my God created? What proof is there in history and in research that there is a God?
I mean, we can go into, for example, like concepts, abstract concepts like math. You
No,
believe?
we're not gonna go abstract. We're gonna go history, stating in.
Do you know what abstract means?
Abstract means that there is multiple ways to look at it.
No, that's not what that
Yes.
means. So abstract concepts just mean there are things that exist but are not material. They're not like tangible, right? So for example, like mathematics. You believe that mathematics exists, right?
Yeah, I guess. I'm kind of forced to believe it. I think it's.
Like if you deny that mathematics exists, then there's no point in having a conversation.
If I cannot see it and there is no proof to it, there is proof to math.
Okay.
There is no proof to God.
Okay, good. So mathematics you do believe exists, right?
Because there is proof to it, yes.
Okay, good. And where does the concepts of math, where do they exist?
You can hold items where if you multiply it,
that's those items are not math. You can use math to describe what's going on, but to describe the reality of these things, but they're not math itself. Like the number 2, right? I'm not talking about the word, I'm talking about the concept, the value of 2, the quantity. Where does that concept exist?
Someone made up the name for the number.
I'm not talking about the term. The term is something that we decided to call it in English, and in other languages is something different, right? But they all mean the same thing. They all have the same value, right? Which is the quantity of 2. Where is that? Yes. Where does that exist?
It's the evidential quantity. There is 2 items.
Where does that concept exist? 2. Where does that exist?
I don't think I'm completely comprehending.
All right, no worries. So I'm going to just give you the answer. You tell me if you agree with it or not, okay? So the concept of the number 2 exists in the mind. Would you agree?
I mean, yes and no.
Okay. If you don't agree, where else can it exist?
It's a physical thing. There is 2.
No, it's not. The things that are physical are what you're describing, the quantity of those things. But those, like for example, if there's 2 apples, the physical thing is an apple, not the number 2. But the concept of there's 2 apples, where does that exist?
What?
Oh my god, dude. Are you like 12 years old or something? Like
I'm 24 actually.
Okay. Like you saying that you don't understand what I just said, like you like what? Like it's like a little kid. Like okay, what didn't you understand what I said? The concept of 2, where does that exist?
The concept of 2 is a number. The concept is that it's a number that defines the quantity.
Yeah, where does that exist?
I suppose the mind.
Okay, good. I agree. Can it exist anywhere else other than a mind?
I mean, there's no other really way to put it.
Okay, good. So you would agree with me. It exists in a mind. Even atheists would agree with this, by the way, Haley. This is not like difficult. Like
I'm confused how numbers in math have to do with God, because math
You're
is
about to
not
find
a
out. You're about to
it's a
find.
fact.
You're about to find out. You're about to find out. Okay. So now, if concepts exist in a mind and we can't prove it exists anywhere else, before there were human minds, how many suns were there in the solar system?
There's an infinite.
Suns in the solar system? In our solar
Nothing.
system, how many suns did existed?
In the solar system, one. My
Thank
mind
you.
said
So
number
that
of
means
suns
no
immediately.
worries. So there's only one sun in our solar system that existed before human minds. That means the quantity of one existed. So where did that concept exist before human minds?
I mean, it wasn't really a concept before human minds.
Yes,
no
it
one
was.
really
Yes, it
concepted
was.
that
You just proved that it was because there was one sun before there were human minds. So where did that concept exist before there was a human mind?
It was only one before we could put the concept of the name to it.
Yeah, I agree that we put the terminology. I agree. Hey, listen. I agree that we give it a semantic. I agree that we give it the semantical value to it, right? Because we use our words to describe it. But the concept still existed because we know there was one quantity of one sun before there were human minds. So what mind did it exist if concepts exist in a mind before humans?
How is the sun a concept? How is like the number of suns a concept? I'm confused.
Because the quantity of one is a concept that exists in a mind. You already admitted to that. So what mind did it exist before human minds?
It just happened to be there.
Right. Where did it exist?
In space.
In space. Can you prove that numbers exist? Can you prove that numbers exist in space? Can we get a microscope in space and find the number 2? Is this Sesame Street that we're just going to go searching like Blue's Clues? We're going to start searching for the number 2. Does the number 2 exist under my bed or in the couch?
No, it doesn't. Then you can't find the number 2.
Exactly. That's my point. It exists in the mind. So what mind did it exist before humans?
None, because there were no minds before humans.
So then the number 2, so then how do you ground that there was only one sun before there were humans? How do scientists know that?
The only way that we know that is because we can only conceptualize that there were no other suns before what
exactly. So that means the concept of the value of one existed. So where did that exist?
That makes no sense
to me. Makes perfect sense, because if it exists in a mind, as far as what we can observe, if the concepts only exist in a mind, then before a human mind, these concepts had to have existed in a mind. And the only explanation that you can give is that it existed in an eternal mind, especially since these concepts existed from the beginning of time.
They could have existed, but we put the name to them. We are the ones. There is no there might be some, but no one knows who. No one knows how many. No one knows why.
Right.
No one knows who.
Right. Okay, good. So if no worries, I'll go ahead and I'll grant your possible claim that it could have existed somewhere other than a mind. Okay, where? Now you got to substantiate that. Where could it exist other than a mind?
It's a possibility. I'm not a scientific expert.
Okay, so if you're saying there's a possibility and you can't prove it, why should we accept it as a possibility?
Why should we accept your God as a possibility?
Because there's no other explanation for the concepts existing before human minds other than God. That's why.
Okay, what if humans are the ones that made the concept? What if humans are the ones that
first ones to understand so it? Then if humans made the concept, how many suns were there before there were humans?
No one knows. If there is no possible way to define
prove that nobody knows how many suns prove that nobody knows how many suns there were in the solar system before humans. Prove that. Do scientists agree with you? Do scientists agree with you?
Please stop interrupting me. How can anyone prove that how many there were before there was anyone to see it?
Because we don't have any evidence of any other suns being existent. It probably wouldn't even logically follow scientifically, even though I can't explain that to you. But nonetheless, quantities Nonetheless, in order to understand reality in general, right? In order to ground all reality, and if this reality is still the reality whether we're here or not, then that means these quantities existed even before humans. They're universal.
Or reality is chance.
Huh?
We happened because of evolution. We could have evolved into something different. We didn't have to become humans. It's just how evolution happened.
Oh yeah. How many? Okay, so do you believe that we evolved?
Yes.
How many things did we evolve from?
We evolved through many different stages.
Yeah. How many stages? How many stages did we evolve from?
I don't know the exact number of
stages. Is there a number of stages that people follow evolution from?
Yeah, I think there's like...
How do you know that if numbers didn't exist before humans? How can you even argue evolution by saying that quantities didn't exist before humans? How can you even make the case of it? How can you even say it's true if quantities don't exist? Hello?
I should not have smoked before doing this.
Exactly. See you later.
Bye.
Completely